Man, let's get straight
You don't
into it.
need a veg cycle, guys.
Salute to the Dude Grow Show. Yeah, man. Salute to the Dude Grow Show. Why you don't need a cannabis veg cycle? Save time and boost your growth. Let's see what's up with that.
Stop wasting your time. Sounds kind of crazy, but we're going to get into it. We have a special guest today, Rasta Jeff. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, dude. It's fun to fill in.
Oh, yeah, it's big shoes. We're Scotty free today, baby. Scotty, it makes it sound like I'm celebrating. Scotty free.
Hey, I love it because I get to be here and co-host the show with you. So thanks for taking a day off, Scotty.
Oh, hell yeah. Scotty's doing a little needed vacay, guys. We'll be back to regular programming soon. But today, man, DGC, Ohio. Wait, I forgot to say, what's up, Grambo, as usual, on the board?
I'm in the bakery all by myself. It's lonely in here.
To say, it's a little creepy. Crickets, huh? Special without Scotty. Scotty interrupted.
No,
but we got this, guys. We got some good grow talk today. And yeah, let's get into it right off the bat. I reached out to some DGC. Actually, I went over to realdgc.com and found some DGC producers putting up some good grow talk. I'm going to start off with this in from Ohio. Oh, not Ohio Grow. Ohio Grow. Ohio Grow. What's up? Had an interesting article titled Lighting Scheme Could Eliminate a Costly Phase of Cannabis Growing. And this is, if you know the show, I only one time have taken seeds in 3-gallon pots in a 12-12 flowering light cycle. They're naturally going to have a vegetative light cycle for off the top of my head for probably at least a month. And they ended up being 3-foot tall plants and an okay harvest. So I found that pretty interesting. Have you ever tried yourself, as far as you're always here, with light cycle wise?
Yeah, people know that I like to try a lot of creative light cycles. I've been talking about the 18-6 at the end, but I do this 12-12 when I'm running things. I've got specific strains I do this with, the Congo Ripper and especially the Wingsuit, because they get so big that I don't need to veg them. So yeah, this works beautifully for the longer flowering stuff is what I've noticed the best. Things that take 12, 14 weeks, just skip the veg phase and flower that extra 5 weeks. And it takes the same amount of time and the plants turn out the same size.
Well, now, when you say skip the veg phase, how long before you see in a 12-12 light cycle starting that way, just pre-flowers coming, pistils coming, flower development? Is at least about a month of veg you see before the plant switches it's where it's going?
I'd say 3 to 5 weeks. Yeah, it depends on it's very strain specific, but yeah, 3 to 5 weeks. 4 weeks is a really good rule of thumb, standard guideline, I guess. Yeah.
All right, well, I got some points here, some discussion points from the article. This is Fluent Bioengineering, which they do LEDs. It's an LED manufacturer, and Dutch contract research group INXO BV. They're expanding a small-scale experiment at their facilities, and this is in the Netherlands, which take cannabis straight from seedling to the flowering phase, skipping what's known as the vegetative stage. So they're touting a few things here I wouldn't think of as a grower. When you're commercial setting or even a 4-lighter, or heck, even maybe you got 2,000 watts running at your house, you're saving a lot of power. You're running
every penny counts.
Yeah, 6 less hours a day, 40% on average lower electrical costs. They're saying that the team has tested what they call a no-veg approach on 6 different cannabis cultivars and 10 nutrient lines, which to me, this sounds kind of fun. Like, I wouldn't mind this job.
That's a fun test. I would like to work there.
I mean, yeah, knowing, like I've always said, being a commercial grower, I feel might take the fun out of it for me. You know, I'm just grinding out for the man or the owner, or like being the lead grower. Maybe if I wasn't, shout out like Michigan Matt, he's invested in his facility. It's not just, sweating for somebody else. But this is just a cool experiment. They're like, okay, here's 10 nutrient lines, 6 different strains. Let's do a low light cycle. Like, I look forward to going into that every day and collecting the data.
Oh, yeah. And then the funnest part is at the end, you get to smoke test all of those because that's the most important part. And you're absolutely right, dude. The commercial industry kind of sucked some of the passion out of me. That's why I'm just doing IRE genetic stuff. People know that I used to run a lot of commercial facilities. And since the COVID thing happened, I canceled all those contracts and I never went back. And I've reestablished a new love for the plant and the community now that I'm out of
What's up with it, bro? I'm trying to trim up all this bud over here. It's good.
the industry. So you're right. It can wear on you.
And we'll get into the community in a little bit because we both have communities that, we like to have involved with our show and make this all happen. That's super important. You want that passion there. You need it. If you're going to be a community leader or build a community, you have to be very passionate about it and hands on. But talk about that in a moment. Another thing I didn't think of in this is they're saying 40% labor costs as well per crop cycle. Just time in there, people going around and doing stuff, right? And then this one I want your opinion on. They're saying with the fast-paced growth of the plants, researchers found there was less time for pests and disease to develop. I could feel that, right? More and more something hangs around.
That's why we do the turn them and burn them. Get them in, get them out. Less time on the road, less time to crash. Absolutely.
Now, this one I had to wrap my head around. In addition, the method could reduce waste by eliminating C-grade flour, which allows for more crop cycles per year and increases overall predictability for growers. So, what do you think C-grade flour is? That
you're not going to get you're not going to get the larf, that crap at the bottom. Since the plant doesn't get big and bushy and oversized, all that crap at the bottom we normally trim off or turn into larf. You're not going to get all that. It won't even develop. The plant's only going to get so big because of the short time that all of it will get light penetration. So you're going to get nothing but healthy fat buds. You won't need to do the bottoming as much. So yeah, that will save you some time.
Grandma, don't be too quiet there, buddy.
It's weird. It usually I assign Jeff to Scott's button since he's the co-host today, and it's throwing out all my I'm just sitting here, I'm effing up. You guys are seeing I'm effing up left and right. I need to smoke more. Is that right? All right.
Yes.
I approve. On that electrical cost, you're not just saving on the lights, you're saving air conditioner and fans and dehumidifier. It's like a cascading effect. Once you turn off the lights, you can save a lot more electricity.
But plant count, right? So if you're somewhere where you're adhering to plant count, this isn't the system for you. If you can only grow 4, like here in Canada, only 4 plants, then I'm going to have a veg time. I want to maximize what I'm getting out of those plants. They're saying these plants ended up between 2 feet to 4 feet. I could get that depending on strain, but this is where it gets tough. The no vegging growing is most effective at plant densities between 8 to 10 plants per square meter. So that's about per 10, almost 11 square foot. So no, I think 11 square foot is just barely bigger than, so I got a 3x4 tent. We could go with that. That's about 12 square feet, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean I need to put, 10 plants in there in a 4x3. You're going to be in 2 gallons tops?
Yeah, that's really tight. I wouldn't do more than 9 in there. A 3x3 pattern is kind of what I would do.
I think this being the Netherlands, I'm thinking that this type of, they're running in Hugo blocks. They're running super efficient. No, if you don't know, guys, Hugo blocks, that's a Grodan rock wool product. I think they're 6x6 or maybe 8x8 cubes, probably 8x8.
One of those two. I was going to say 6.
You can stack them in a tray nice and clean. You can hook up irrigation to them, because another thing I'd be weary about with this system is how many times a day do I need to water? I've seen some 2-gal grow bags at a commercial facility in Denver, and they were doing great. They're pretty big plants, but they're on automated irrigation, and that might be, there you go, right on, Grambo. Did you ever grow in those?
I am not a rock wool person. I have never done a successful rock wool run. I've done clones, but that's as far as I'll go.
Yeah, that was my first growing setup, was those rock wool, and then you'd put those on top of the slabs so the roots could go down into the slabs, and I thought it was pretty cool at the time.
So sciencey.
It was a way to not deal with medium. That was always the thing. When I was in Iowa, it's dude, where do I get rid of all this dirt? Always going to the hood, dumpsters at hood apartments and just dump it all in there. It's not how you want to live.
No, I follow it. Don't do that.
No, I'm saying don't do that.
Yeah, the deal is you're more apt probably to get caught going to an apartment. I thought about it hard. Plus, I was thinking about karma. Then I've seen asses that just throw it on the road somewhere. Go to the dump, invest in good contractor bags. This is what I used to do, full of hydrogen and rock wool, which I'd set. I would be the guy that would take him out of the bed of the pickup truck and then set it on the ground, not just winging shit out for people to see in case it broke. But yeah, I agree. Hard to get rid of that type of setup. So I don't think, I mean, this isn't for everybody. I think it'd be fun to try, or at least lower, some people veg mandatory. I'm going to veg a month. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. Try 2 weeks on some strains, see what really the difference is in the end in weight and harvest, and save a ton of power.
Yep. You'll notice, and I mentioned earlier, Congo Ripper and Wingsuit, those plants take 14 weeks to flower. So if you think 14 weeks is a long time, you can cut out 4 weeks of that flower time. Just consider it veg, actually be in flower. but you're buying your time just by cutting off that veg time. So you can get that 4 weeks back, and that puts you at an 11-week flower or 9-week flower, which makes a lot more sense. So just skip that veg with some of my longer flowering stuff. And you said those plants ended up 2 to 3 feet tall. That Congo Ripper, if you go straight to flower from seed, it will end up 5 feet tall. It will fill your room. You'll have plenty of buds, plenty of flowers if you go straight from seed to the flower phase. I don't recommend that with everything. Like you said, they're only going to be 2 or 3 feet tall, and you can't take a clone. That's the only downside. But otherwise, I think it works pretty well.
Oh, wait. So we were talking about this again. Go join the community, guys. RealDDC.com. It's free to join. Maestro's in the conversation, Ohio Grow, and I was like, this is a great way, in my opinion. I'm going to be pheno hunting a 7-pack, if I can call it that. Make fun of me if you want. I know it's only 7 seeds.
It's a hunt.
But of Cherry Paloma S1. And the quickest way for me to see what those plants are going to offer me is to go right to flower as quick as I can. But there still will be that vegetative window. I was concerned, will I be able to get a clone under 12-12 light cycle on the vegetative window before it gets over? And Maestro in the chat was absolutely. There's going to be a time where you're not going to have any flower development. Just make sure you keep your eyes on the plant. So I think you can maybe now, if you're wanting a lot of clones, not likely 2 to 3 maybe per plant. I think I can pull that off.
Get those bottoms, and you can still take a clone as soon as you see it flower too. That wouldn't be a bad idea. So you're right. Yeah, we can still get the clones. All right. So this is a good trick
for pheno hunting. What were the name of those 2? Congo Ripper and what?
Wingsuit. Wingsuit is actually a fish song. So it feels like I named it Wingsuit because it feels like when you smoke it, it feels like you just jumped off the top of the building in a wingsuit and you're just hoping that shit works. You just got your arms out and you're hoping for the best.
Okay.
Wingsuit.
I always like to ask the breeder, how about Congo Ripper? How'd you come up with that one?
That is Congo to Jack the Ripper. There's a lot of thought into that name.
Easy enough. That's always nice. Whenever I go into the dispensaries to have to buy something, like they're always like, oh, you look for indica sativa. I go, what's the parents? Tell me the parents. That's the only way you know what's going on these days.
Yeah. Yes. And Brett, you were our dude. Sorry, you were diminishing your pheno hunt of 7 plants. That's a hunt, my dude. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful about your numbers. Do what you can. If you're hunting through 3, hunt through 3 now. Select your keeper. Add 2 more seeds next time, and compare those 2 to your current keeper, and do it like a bracket system. Battle of the fittest. Best man wins best woman wins every time. You can just keep
so much patience, man. Patience.
Which as a grower, that's a thing we all need to. I wish they could sell us a bag of patience. I'd buy 7 grams every day.
What strain I'm trimming? I'm trimming. I'm trimming Elevate Seeds. Genetics. It's a cross in between the soap and permanent marker. I just forgot the name of it. It's gassy as fuck, so I call it 93 unleaded, or either gas berries. Cause that's what it tastes like, gas and berries, bro. I mean, got a little citrus on the nose, but it smoked more like a berry. Yeah. Got some pretty good shit going on over here, man. And it's my first time on running Grove bags, so that's kind of where I'm more super excited about trying to fill these bags up. Yeah, I'm sure I got more than enough bud to do it with. Jeez, man, I'm gonna have my hands full, bro.
I'm getting ready to travel a little bit, get on a plane, go down to the States, and I always put my patience. I'm a pretty patient guy regardless, but when people get impatient, getting ready to get on a massive jet to take them halfway across the world, I'm like, what else are you going to do, buddy? Shut up. Like, what else? Chill out, okay? Chill out.
I'm not in a hurry to get in that tube. Yeah.
I'm like a geek. I'll geek out on those shows like Netflix, how an airport works, like an hour and a half long show, and they go through all the schematic type shit. I like to get really high and check that crap out.
I love that stuff. It's good to know it's not just me.
Hey, I'm going to shout out to some DDC producers here, and we have another Grow Talk coming from a producer. You know me. I'm all about the Grow Talk. If Scotty's the fun, he talks grow, but I thought I'd make a little bit more Grow Talk heavy show. But DDC producers that have joined over at realddc.com to help us out. Dr. Dugout, what's up? My favorite way to smoke, actually. Dugout on the go. Terpsichore, very smooth. And Grambo, what's up with this one? Am I missing something?
Yeah, the Hugh Jerrickson. I've totally you've missed a lot. I told you I'm not sure. Anytime anything's different at the bakery, everything just like goes to chaos. We're having internet problems, so yeah, just enjoy this. This effed up.
You didn't catch that name, Beavis?
I got Drew RS and Amanti 5 DDC producers that have signed up. If you go to dudegrows.com, back it up. You go to realdgc.com/upgrade. If you're growing the dank and you're not a DDC producer for $10 a month, you're missing out, guys. 30% off Real Growers products. You get a free sticker pack once you sign up. We give away seeds every week as well as great gear. We actually have a winner of our AC Infinity hookup, which we did last week, which was an Evo 6 for a 4x4 tent and their Controller 69 Pro. And the winner of that is Feline Good 865. Where'd I go like Feline? What do you got, Jeff?
Oh, I was just saying congrats to the winner. That's cool to give away some cool stuff on the show.
Dude, their gear has been killing it over at AC Infinity. I just hooked up one of these Evo lights and really digging on it. You producers should be...
I've fallen in love with AC Infinity. They're taking over. They even got me now.
It's too convenient. There's too good.
It's so easy. It's all I can see everything on my phone right now. I'm watching the whole grow while we're recording.
And super easy to use. We'll combine it here. First off, if you're a DDC producer or you're missing these giveaways, you got to be checking on the VIP giveaway group when you're logged into realddc.com. If you're not a producer, man, like I said, we've helped you grow. We've made you laugh. You like this show for real. You guys make it happen. So realddc.com/upgrade. Get those grower dividends. And yeah, AC Infinity, it's a great way to support the show. Coupon code DUDEGROWS at acinfinity.com. I will vouch for all their gear except their new unit that does air conditioning, dehumidification, and heating, and something else all in one. I'm suspect. I need reviews. I don't know. When somebody comes out with shiz like that, I'm like, that's doing too much.
AC Infinity, you know my address. Go ahead and send me one. We'll hook it up to the tent. We'll see what happens.
Funny enough, they're sold out right now, so we will be getting feedback. All right, another question. You're a cocoa grower, I believe, Jeff, and I think you use perlite, right?
I do that. In a commercial setting, I do 3-gallon pots of cocoa with about 30% perlite in there.
Well, this is from DDC producer Mary Zima. Says, do I need to add perlite and cocoa to my soil? If I go cocoa, what brand? I'd like to plug and play, no balancing or flushing if possible. I say there should be no balancing or flushing here in 2024 of any good quality cocoa. The chat here is recommending Canna. Give it 2 thumbs up. Canna cocoa is the way to go. I don't add perlite. I believe perlite pertains to your watering cycle. Why do you add perlite?
I was adding perlite because I was in a commercial environment to start with, and I had other people working with me, and sometimes some of those guys would overwater, and that perlite would buy me a little bit of protection. If those plants got overwatered, the perlite would give me some airspace. We had another grower in here who taught me to maybe consider not putting the perlite in there because that disrupts the cation exchange within the rhizosphere, which is a little bit beyond my understanding, but the way he explained it, it made sense to me. So I'm considering removing the perlite in my personal setup, but for the commercial grows, I'll always put perlite in there because it gives me more airspace. So like I said, if they overwater, all that cocoa in there doesn't crush my root zone. Gives the plants a little bit of little life support just in case the bros overwater.
Perlite itself actually is, I think it's volcanic rock that they heat like up to 1,000 degrees, and then it like pop like popcorn. Like these little perlite particles come off of it.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I don't know how sustainable stuff is really. It's hard for me to have, people say peat's not sustainable. And then I think about sustainability and the process of time and how long it takes for something to become insustainable. But regardless, I was like, what else? What are there alternatives to? And I came up with rice hulls, which I haven't used. Have you ever used rice hulls as a mix-in?
I have not, but I know a couple of guys who grow completely organically, and they're big fans of the rice hulls.
Okay. I was reading.
I was going to say, as they break down, they have to provide some sort of benefit as well. There's got to be some nutrients in that rice hull other than just giving us the air and the space. There's got to be a positive nutrient in there. Rice has got so much good stuff in it.
Yeah, Build a Soil has some.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, check out Build a Soil's rice hulls. They're going to source. That's what I was just going to get into. Source some quality ones. I've read there could be some leftover arsenic, or depends on what the rice growers' inputs were potentially. So I'm thinking you're going to want to start with some nice. I'm not going to say organic, but just check your source of your rice hulls because you are mixing them in your media. I read there's silica that comes off of rice hulls. as far, not comes off of, that's not the way I should put it. Silica can become bioavailable as rice hulls break down. My concern, and I don't think you would know this, Jeff, we're not, microbiologists, but how bioavailable is that silica from rice hulls versus, monosilicic acid?
Right.
I don't know if it's really going to become that available with even in my veg period, or does it come available week 6 in flour because it's finally breaking down? That's what I'm concerned with some of these raw inputs.
How about the arsenic? When does that become available?
Hopefully never. Yes.
I'm going to go off on a side tangent here. People are so stuck up on the word organic, and we just realized that there's arsenic in our rice hulls, which are organic. So but when I always say that organic is kind of a buzzword, there's a big sign that there is arsenic in one of the things we're using to supplement our plants, and we're calling it organic and not realizing that's arsenic. So that raises attention to that buzzword there. Not everything organic is perfect.
I mean, yeah, that is a deep conversation. I mean, I think there's a lot more things considered organic that people say that's not organic.
Organic, it just means carbon, right? So like even the idea that like once you go past like one layer deep thinking about it, it's like, dude, like, a meaningless term.
It's a sales pitch.
It's natural though.
I like natural.
What it is a way, like it's a lot of time when you get organic food, it's not sprayed with pesticides and stuff. So really it's just kind of an indicator of like not slathered in pesticides rather than any sort of growing,
or just non-GMO is also organic.
Right.
Yeah.
There's rumors. I was in conversation with, let's say a company or another grower, and they're saying that some of their new grow equipment might become AI enabled. I'm like, that's such the new marketing term. Like they're using the word AI to market anything, and I'm like, really, that sounds just like programming.
Atari had AI. Come on.
I know of somebody who's been using AI in their cultivation for years, and I'm not sure how much I can share, but they're using an infrared camera to fly over a crop with a drone, and that infrared camera can detect precursors of plant problems. I'm not sure how much more I'm allowed to talk about because I don't know how far they've gone in this project, but they're using a drone to fly over not just cannabis, but corn and soy. And the drone the program to that drone has been fed so many photos that it can identify problems in your crop by going through the photos it's been fed. And it can say, hey, I saw this over here in section 5. And it can let you know that there's spider mites over there in section 5 before you even walk there.
Yeah. I mean, if I could have a little mini drone going around like the size of a bumblebee in my grow tent, telling me if I got mold or spider mites or bud rots just starting, I'm down.
Yeah. We detect thrips in sector 4.
It's got to look like a bumblebee, though. I want it to be a natural looking drone.
I sponsor this. If there's a company out there ready to make a bumblebee drone for the garden, I'm in.
What's the best practices, or just give me your ratio quick? What do you do if you are mixing perlite with the cocoa? Are you going 20%? Are you going?
I try to say 25%. It ends up being 30% because I'm overzealous. So about 30% cocoa. And wear a mask when you're pouring that stuff out because, like you said, it's volcanic glass that's been heated. There's a bunch of little dust in there. And when you get to the bottom of the bag, it's all going to come flying out and dust up in your face. Don't breathe that in. It will mess up your day. Probably mess up your lungs permanently. I bet when they do my autopsy, they're going to find a whole bunch of perlite grains in my lungs. It's going to be terrible.
Oh, I just ran an ozonator the other day, and in a grow tent to generate ozone to kill powdery mildew spores. And then I had turned off. I think this is what happened. Really, you don't want the ozone going out in your house. I just wanted to run it in the tent for 15 minutes, let it sit in there. And then I was going to exhaust it out while I left the doors and windows open, and my daughter has her guinea pig close by. I'm like, you don't want to kill that thing. Or I'm like, I went dark though. I'm like, maybe I do. I don't know. I went dark.
That's why they call it a guinea pig, right? It's finding out if the air is safe.
Anyway, the default setting, I think on the fan, when I took its programming off, it was like it didn't know what was going on. So the safest thing for it to do is exhaust. So the whole time I was running ozone, I was exhausting it into my upstairs. It's like, oh, dear God. But anyway, we'll get back on point here. I'm going to tell you all out there to share this show, comment, subscribe. We got some comments coming up. Shout out to Rasta Jeff for filling in. Go check out iriedirect.com, Grow From Your Heart podcast. I was just listening to your few recent shows, hearing about your travels down to where'd you go in Las Vegas? I'm surprised Grambo hasn't gone to that.
I went to Fremont Street to a comedy festival called Skankfest. It's not what it sounds like, but it is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, they're the Legion of Skanks, are 3 comedians that just are gangster. They don't let censorship bother them. They go hardcore. So they started their own festival called Skankfest. And Jeff goes like almost every year. You went last year, this year. Yeah.
Yes. I make a lot of friends. I've got a lot. It looks like the dirtiest group of people you could get into. Everyone's covered in tattoos, piercings, dreadlocks, weird haircuts, but everybody is so nice. It's I
showed Scott and Kenny some of that stuff while you were there, and Kenny remarked, he's like, I didn't know you could still say those things. I go, yeah, some people can.
Yeah, there you can. You can. Yeah, we call it 90s words. You're not allowed to say those words everywhere, but it's Skankfest. We can bring back the 90s words. It's all in good fun.
All in good fun.
Yes, I got so sick in Las Vegas. I can still hear it in my voice. That festival was at the start of this month, and I still have a weird head sinus infection thing from Las Vegas. Oh. So what happens in Vegas did not stay there. I brought some of it home.
Didn't you get something last time you went to Vegas? Like you went to the Sphere, right?
Same festival. I went to, every time I go to Fremont Street, I come back with the plague. Yes, I did go to the Sphere. I've been to a lot of Sphere shows. I'm kind of having a good summer.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I want to take it over to Halloween's coming up. I was thinking about edibles, man. I was visiting my dad in California, and Grandma, I got these sleep gummies here. I was like, what's up with? He takes him to sleep. He'll take like a half a gummy. My first thing I said to him is, you're going to sleep. Take a whole gummy. It's only 10 milligrams, right? My dad's almost 80, and we switched it up. He had some 1-to-1 CBD to THC, and now he's got the THC to CBN. And nice. CBN, inconclusive, but people are claiming really helps you sleep. It makes you feel tired. And the analogy there, I think, is when you let weed stay before you harvest, the longer it's on the plant, I believe the more CBN. I think that's what happens, right? Do you want to elaborate on that?
It's exactly. It starts to convert to the CBN. That's why they tell you to let some of your indica stuff go longer so you can get that more couchy sort of buzz. And that's the CBN kicking in there, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it starts, all cannabinoids start out as CBGA. And so they've got this one block thing. And as they degrade, they become like the THC, the CBD. And then at the final stage is that CBN when it degrades into that dark yellow. That's the thinking anyway.
Yeah, that's the sleepy stuff.
Now, I'm the opposite. What do you do?
I like to take a big fat dab of crazy sativa before I go to bed. And that way I just lay there and have the craziest dreams for 6 hours. So if I smoke an indica, I just have the most boring dreams and I just lay there bored. So I smoke a good sativa and go on a wild adventure in my dreams.
And are you aware? Can you control them somewhat?
Sometimes, yes. If I try too much to control the dreams, I'll completely wake up. But if something scares me or bothers me and I realize like, oh, that's just a dream, then I can kind of work through and not get woken up or get too freaked out. But yes, I can drive the dreams a little bit.
I agree. I like it. I can definitely do that. Some people that say like, oh man, when you toke, it affects your dreams. You stop dreaming. I'm like, no, I don't necessarily toke right before I go to bed. Sometimes I do, but
the three of us are like power dreamers. I know you and I have talked about it, Jeff, and you and I, dude, like we doesn't stop our dreams. It's intense.
I'll wake up tired from my adventures in my dreams. Like I've been everywhere today. This is wild.
No, once, like we'll say quarterly, I'll have some type of nightmare thing happen, or maybe something's chasing me where I start to like make a noise my wife can hear. I don't know if you guys have ever heard Homer Simpson when he has a nightmare. She's like, that's what you sound like. Anyway,
that's epic.
So, edibles, man. I think we have a few stories here. 8 teens taken to hospital after ingesting marijuana edibles during school field trip. Now, that's a pretty gangster move. They went to the tar pits in LA. Why not have some? That sounds like a good plan so far. 18-year teenagers got acutely ill and were transported to hospital. An on-site security officer found the sickened male and female students and called 911. No, buddy, how bad were they?
Yeah, a security guard found them. It sounds like they were just huddled into a corner, just seeking help or something. Were they throwing up, or were they having a panic attack? Like, what do they define as like ill from cannabis edibles? Were they throwing up? Did they just want someone to call their mom? Did they need a sandwich? I want to know. I want more details.
I think a panic attack and anxiety is probably the number one thing that would come on for people that are unfamiliar with getting too high on edibles.
Oh, yeah.
And you think something's going to go wrong, but really you're okay. It's just that's how you're going to feel for a while.
You feel like your heart's beating. I'm going to have a heart attack. I got to call my mom. I've been there. It's been 40 years, but I've been there.
I'm also dubious these days. Like when I was in California, Uncle Jim bought me some edibles. He's like, here, Grandpa. It's like only 100 milligrams was legal on rec. Yeah, he got me 1,000 milligrams. I was like, how is this legal? And I go inspect the bag. It's because it was all a bunch of new cannabinoids, THCV, THCO, all sorts of weird cannabinoids. And so now there's all these initial cannabinoids that are going around. So my girlfriend met someone in Kansas that gave her some of these alphabet cannabinoids and made her sick as hell. So the minute I read this story, I was like, this sounds familiar to me. So I don't know if the THC proper, the way we think of edibles, they might not have got that, especially at their age.
Right. Who knows what they got at that age?
Yeah. High
school kids.
Good point. There could be, I do get made fun of at school though, pretty hardcore the next day. You're like, you went to the hospital, bro? Got edibles?
Or you're a legend. It depends on how you play it. Bro, you're a legend. You had to go to the hospital?
True.
I'd play that one up.
I like it. I got an article here out of Medical Express. Cannabis edibles are triggering poisonings among older users. And Jeff, you just touched on this, poisonings. Like, what are cannabis poisonings? And they nowhere in the article refer to what they think cannabis poisons are. They just use the terminology to scare people.
Right. Yeah. Someone's grandma had the shakes or had a bad nightmare, and so they're calling it poisoning.
They did overall, they said there were 2,300 visits to emergency departments for cannabis poisonings among older adults averaging 69.5 years of age over a 3-month period. I don't know how they came up with 69.5, but that's pretty good.
Was this in Florida? This sounds like a Florida article.
Canada. This is Ontario.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually up here. They did mention that obviously be careful if you're, an elderly person taking other medications or anybody taking other medications, how edibles work with those. I have no clue. Might be a negative effect, might be a positive effect, but I don't know about you guys. Do you have any, once you get up to like 70, I have a buddy who's like, dude, once I get up to 70, I'm doing heroin. Like, do you have any, like any rules for old age if you make it?
I was going to try to preserve it. It sounds like your buddy's going the other way. I feel like if I make it to 70, I want to try to hit 80. It sounds like your buddy's going 70. I want to see 71. That's a different approach than what I've got. I want to prolong it. Yeah. Maybe dreadlocks in my beard when I'm 70, but that's as wild as I'm going to get.
Oh, dude, that would be so gnarly. The same hair and a dreadlocked beard.
Yeah. That's like the true sign of an old dreadlock guy right there. Dreadlock beard, I think it'd be epic, but not till I'm like 50 or 60, just start growing it crazy.
Yeah.
4 big dreads.
As long as you keep it manicured, man. I've seen some gnarly beards out there. Grambo, you do pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
You see some old dudes, they got like half their lunch in it. So
yeah, I got DGC Sicko Grows comes over to my house every Friday and does my beard. He's a barber.
Nice.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Check out these with Halloween coming up. Of course, we've seen these before, but this is a good article laying them out. If you scroll down on this, accidental ingestion of illegal copycat edible cannabis products. And then, keep going down, Grambo, to where they list down below that one even. Yeah, here they start to list them out. We're looking at, what is this? What is this one called? Doobie Blue Stone? Oh, Stonio. It looks like Oreos. But if you look at the packaging, if you're a kid, for real, you're not going to look at the packaging. You're just like, this is some good snacks and some sugar and shit. If you look at the package as an adult, all these are listed with milligrams and they have obvious giveaways, kind of like, okay, this is a copycat product. But some of these were so strong, you can't really zoom in on, Grambo. One of the packs of gummies was 500 milligrams.
Oh, man.
Which I guess, for me, that's so strong. Go ahead.
The screen you guys are showing me now that I can see, the packages are tiny and I can see what it's supposed to be, but I can't see the difference. Like the one that looks like Gushers, the advertising, the package looks just like a Gushers pack. On the little view, I cannot tell the difference. Like if you said, want some Gushers and you handed me that Skittles that you're showing right now, looks just like Skittles. I cannot see any difference in it. So I was a kid that like saw Skittles before and I'm not reading. I just see the shape, the Skittles thing and the little fruits on there. I would dig into that. And if that's 500 milligrams, I'm going to be at the La Brea Tar Pits hiding in a corner waiting for security to come get me for sure.
That's not funny. That could be, and everybody's okay. That's why like people eating too much edibles is usually funny in the end because everybody's going to be okay.
Right.
Dude, they have flaming hot Cheetos. I wouldn't even read anything else. I would have eaten them all, and somebody would have to tell me, dude, you just ate 500 milligrams.
Yeah, these are identical. They're not even a pun like normally you'd think of, like the Stonios or whatever it is. They're just the actual packaging, but then they put a California cannabis THC warning indicator at the bottom corner. I mean, I know we had that law here. They used to get the Reefers peanut butter cup and stuff here, and they got the devil suit out of them. So I have to imagine that the free market will ironically weed these out eventually. But yeah, that sucks.
I received a cease and desist letter for using a popular strain name, and they were not joking. They were very thorough with their cease and desist letter. So those guys will get there soon enough.
You're not allowed to say it anymore due to contractual obligations. What was it?
The new name is Strawberry Burst, is what I'm allowed to say. But I can't tell you what the old name was.
Yeah.
It was named after a little pink candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made me change my website, all social media, anything I'm attached to that had that name. They wanted it corrected.
It's real. I worked for a dispensary that had Gorilla Glue, and Gorilla Glue sent them a letter, and they changed the name to Sticky Ape. And so he stole the Sticky Ape for years.
There you go. Yeah, they wanted a resolution within 12 days, or they would reach out with further, I forgot what the further litigation if I didn't reply within 12 days. So they were serious.
I'm sure you were ready to comply.
Oh, yeah, within 12 minutes.
You guys do anything, Grambo? You dress up for Halloween? You going to be Batman? You're at the club?
I'm actually going to be Bane. You're very, very close. I got a Bane mask and everything. Yeah, you smoke weed, do you? I was born in weed.
You were born in the dankness.
I was born in the dank. I didn't see a seed until I was a man.
Jeff, do you just put on like the Rasta color hoodie and, what do you got? Give me some Halloween action.
Everybody tells me I should be Predator. That's common. Everyone says you should be Predator. I agree.
I don't hate that. That's a great suggestion.
I hang out with a friend who is a very lovely lady who is her vision is fucked. She's blind and she wears glasses and she's got dark hair. So there may be a Shaggy Velma combo going on,
nice.
But we haven't committed to that.
Right.
But Predator or a Shaggy are my two options this year. How about you, dude? What are you going to do?
I have not figured it out yet. Something from like the 15th century, or I don't know. My wife's got some dress that looks like from the king and queen era. I'm not a very good historian, if you will, but
the king and queen era. Yes.
You always have to have your backup. In backup, I got a strip of bacon that straps to the front of me, and then I'm bacon. That's it. It's just a big ass strip of bacon, like 5 feet long.
Or I should wear that. That could be Jamaican bacon.
I like it.
Dude, you'd be Canadian bacon. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, Grambo. That's going to have to be different looking bacon, though. That's circular.
It is.
Okay, before these comments, we got to go upgrade our grow, hang out, save some money, Jeff. RealDGC.com/Rose. Bam. All the coupon codes are listed here. DGC vetted gear, whether you're looking for grow gear from AC Infinity, HLG lighting, can of cocoa. But today, Lost Coast Plant Therapy, guys. Not only great people that run a great company, family owned and operated, but support this community, whether it's Cannabis, us. Go over there, get 20% off at Lost Coast Plant Therapy with coupon code DUDE. 20% off. This is your all-in-one IPM product, guys. It's going to help with mold, mildews, anything crawly in your garden, mites, aphids. It's a great product that smells like some smooth peppermint that you could use once every 10 days and be problem-free. That's why I got screwed with my powdery mildew. I was not doing anything every 10 days. It's easy to slack when stuff's gone smooth for years, Jeff. I got in that mode of, it ain't broke, I'm not fixing it.
Comfort is dangerous. And you covered my favorite point. That stuff smells good. That's the only pesticide or whatever you want to call it that I apply that I walk through the room later and go, that smells really good. I'm glad I applied that. That Lost Coast smells great. I love it for some reason.
Pesticide, how dare you? It's therapy for your
therapy.
plants.
Yes. See, I said whichever word you call it. The therapy. Yes, that plant therapy smells great in the room.
LostCoastPlantTherapy.com. Coupon code DUDE. Hook it up, guys. 20% off. All right. In the comments, let's take it over to some fun stuff here. This is at Grow Shack Kev. Got a couple comments from Grow Shack Kev. It says, I have a Trim Daddy hand electric trimmer. It's amazing. We featured it on the show a long time ago. Yeah, they look kind of like a turbocharged hair trimmer, maybe like for dreads almost. Like that thing's got some big shears to it.
You stay away from me with that thing.
Have you ever used any type of trimming other than scissors? Any automated trimming?
I've used the Trim Reaper. It's the Trim Reaper just looks like a helicopter propeller with a cage over it, and it's scary to use, but it's just a blade that spins, and then there's like a barbecue grill on top of that, and you just set the buds on there and take the leaves off. That's the one I used the most. It was cool. It sped things up a lot, but I prefer the hand trim, to be honest with you. But if I were gonna not hand trim, the Trim Reaper would be the one I used.
Just trying to put one on the screen. I used one called the Aardvark that's kind of not in business. Graham, well, click on the wand trimmer. It works kind of like this. To a vacuum and basically trim the bud. You're able to get
that process.
The weed flow.
There we go.
It sucks.
There you go.
It sucks while it cuts.
It definitely does.
It was weird. You had to clean the blades every bit, and just you'd run it down the flour. And I still hand trimming. I get it. If you have a commercial facility and you got something that's trimming your stuff good enough to get it out the door and stay the market value, and then all the byproduct of it goes into extracts, and there's a process that you're winning with, go for it. But I'm still a full-on hand trimmer.
Hand trimming is the way. I've ran commercial facilities, and we just hire a trim crew, let them trim it. I feel like the trimmers are the last line of inspection. They see if there's any problems with the buds, if there's weird mold in it, if there's seeds in it or whatever. They see that. That machine won't see that while it's trimming for you.
Not yet. That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah, you just scare me when you say that with a straight face. Not yet.
Another one for fun from Grow Shack Kev. One time I was put, I don't know what episode this was in reference to, but it says one time I was put on Ambien.
Oh no!
Ambien.
I see
and I woke up in the middle of the grocery store with nothing but 20 bags of chili cheese Fritos in my cart. Like, what the fuck?